Disgust. Hey guys, this is Drippy coming back again with another video. How to make drops. That's that. Let's get into it. That's our first drop. Ooh, that's spicy. And then third.
Ooh, this shit be hitting different.
Yes. Alright, we're gonna learn how to make these 3 different drops, and the main thing I wanted to show you guys was different drum patterns and different drop patterns to spice up your life, get things hot and heavy. So first thing we're gonna go over is just the speed, which is 150 beats per minute, and the 3 different drops. The first one's a rhythm, simple kick pattern. You see the kicks here are on the 9, the 10, the 11, the 12. And then for the next drop, these kicks are laid out in a dubstep pattern, bro step pattern, and it's more free form. So check this out. The kicks are going fast. Just fast kicks, you know, you can really just go crazy with it. And then this third pattern is a rhythm pattern, but the drop is completely different because we got these the color bass going, just these chords and the bass at the same time.
Ooh, this shit be hitting different.
Yes.
Ooh, this shit.
All right, cool. So first thing we want to go over is the first drop, and specifically we want to go over the main sound of the first drop, which I call the hitter right here. So we'll solo this, listen to it. This is the main sound that I started with when I started the song, and I'm gonna give you this preset for free in the download description, and I'll show you how I made this preset. After I made this sound, I used it to make these other sounds here as well, which I'll show you. And then, you know, we really just started layering different basses on top of each other, and that's really the main thing we're gonna go over, is how to get these layered, how to lay out your drum patterns and drop patterns, and, you know, just get something good for yourself. Let's go to this hitter patch and let's look at serum. So for serum, we have 2 LFOs going. This LFO 2 is on the sync in the wavetable position. It's also on the cutoff, affecting the comb plus just a little bit. The comb cutoff, the sync, this wavetable position, this is affecting the timbre. It's affecting, you know, not the push and pull of the sound, but really the tone of the sound. And that's what this LFO is affecting. The next LFO is affecting the push and pull. The actual LFO here, this shape, is what the sound is going to be doing. So let's look here. We're on quarter notes, trigger. And this LFO is on this level, it's on this sub level, it's on this cutoff, affecting this band. And if we go to effects, it's It's on this resonance, it's on this drive, and it's on this EQ. You guys can check these settings out. Like I said, I will be putting this patch in the description. After you get your main patch, what I did was I configured the chorus pitch, these sections, and throughout the song, I'm automating the chorus pitch over here, so it sounds higher in pitch or lower in pitch in these sections. You will do this to add variation throughout the track to get it sexy. But let me show you the processing before I show you Hitter 2.0. For the processing on this sound, we have the Easy Clean Rack, which Ray Volpe showed, Reduce Ambience, OTT, Camel Crusher set on British Clean for cleanliness and to get it loud. I wanted to get it even louder and distort the sound even more, so I added a saturator. I'll let you guys listen to what all this sounds like when I add it on. So the first patch starts like this. Add the Easy Clean. Add the saturator. That's distorting it a lot, completely changing the sound. And then we go into Serum FX to add even more effects. This distortion on 2, we cranked it to add even more distortion. We're completely distorting it. Actually, this delay is not on, this hyper's not even on, it's just getting completely distorted right here with the distortion. We'll turn that on. And then we use this EQ to take out the lows to clean it up and boost these frequencies here at 587. Cool. So now we duplicated this and then it made Hitter 2.0. Same processing chain here, see? And then I went to Serum and all I did was I thought, you know what? I need a sound that's more in the mid basses, you know, something that's more MIDI. So I got this disgusting patch that honestly sounds terrible. Disgust. But we used it because it added that extra girth in the frequency range that we needed. We'll listen to them together. Cool. And then after that, we duplicated Hitter again, and we made the sides. It's the same exact patch as Hitter, as the first one, but in the processing chain, we changed it up. What we're doing here is we're making this track the same sound as Hitter, but a little bit different and only on the sides so that we can have very clean signal in the middle and then a nice sexy signal on the sides. Cool. The way I did this is I had a mid-side EQ and it looked like this, and I brought all the mids down, I turned all the mids down, and then I went to the side, cut off the basses, and then I cut over here at around 825 hertz. So now we can combine these 3 for the main patch. Cool. And then let's also just listen to with the kick as well. Now at this point, I was like, all right, we need something that just sounds dirty and crazy. And then that's when we added the mid-bass sustain, which sounds like this. The way I'm laying this out is all based on the kick. I'm listening to the kick and I'm just making it stutter. So what? Listen, kick, hold, kick, kick. Creating rhythm. You could just have it all like this, but you know, if you create that rhythm, these spaces, empty spaces, will create the bounce, get a nice little sound. So then after that, we added the this sound. Some more background basses. And then at the beginning, we added this crazy sound right here. So if you solo this is very metallic-y, very tonal. You know, this is really just adding a lot of extra energy into the drop if you listen here. Sorry about that. By the way, that sound that you're hearing is the reverb thrower, which I'll give you guys this free as well in the description. I put this on the group of these basses here, and then I automate this wet. So we're throwing the reverb in these sections. Listen again. That helps out a lot. And I forgot, we have more background basses. You can barely hear them. When I was making it, I was listening to it and I was like, there needs to be just something in the background. So I added these background basses here. You can barely hear them, but they're there and they're making a big impact. Next is the high sustain, which is the sound. Then we bring it up another octave. For a high. Cool. So 2 high sustains, and then if you see at the beginning of the drop, we got a hit, sounds, and then the drop starts. During this first section, there's no sustain, but on the second phrase, powers up. Sorry, my computer is about to die, literally. Powers up. And in this phrase, it powers up. Cool. And if you guys want me to make a video showing how to make these sustains, just drop it in the comments below and I'll make a separate video on how to make all kinds of different sustain basses. If you see, I started with the MIDI here and then I just bounced it to audio over here. Cool. Next and last thing about this first drop I want to show you is the hit at the beginning. So I added this sound, which is the same exact sound from Hitter, the first patch. I just made it short. Then I got an audio sound, which is also in D. By the way, everything's in D. I'm choosing D as my notes, and I'm in D minor. When I get audio sounds like this, I make sure they're in D. And if they're not in D, I just make sure they're within scale in D minor. So as long as they're any of these notes, like an F or an E, we're good to go. So pre-drop, the hit, and that's, you know, you could lay it out this way if you want. Next, the drums. Now I want you guys to look at these rides here and these hi-hats. As you see, I have 2 kicks layered, I have 3 snares layered, and then in some sections it turns into 4 snares layered. Now these hats right here, I just, you know, made them fast. Some of these hats are in triplet. Like right here, triplet hats. Then it goes back to regular. Added some extra triangles right here. These drums add the groove. Now listen to it in the mix. You can only faintly hear them, but they're there, making a huge impact. Those are the drums. Drums I'm using are from the Rhythm Dubstep Weapons 2, 3, 4. Lots of good sounds in here from Splice. Recommend you get that if you want some good sounds. Next thing I want to show you is just the subwoofer, the good old bass. You can just listen to what that sounds like here. As you can see here, I have multiple basses. And the reason why I have multiple basses is because each one is doing a different speed. Cool. On this bass, all we have is a serum patch, which is just playing a sine wave. It's on half a note rate. And then we got a pedal with the sub on, distortion, drive at 100, a saturator, an EQ8 doing nothing, a fab filter, just boosting it a tiny bit. Very simple sub. Cool. And then these vocals. You of course got a pre-drop, and then you have other sounds. Chants. Double chants. You want to add these chants and extra vocal effects. So these are important. These phrases. Let's listen to these phrases in the mix. So as you can see, very important. They're making a huge impact. Next drop. Check it out. I use the same sounds, right? But we laid them out in a different way. Deleted the drums at the beginning. He's delayed. As you can see, there's no kick right here. Gonna add a kick. This is more Skrillex type vibe, you know? It's like straight up drummer. And, you know, a lot of dubstep is made like this, and you guys should experiment with both ways. But for some songs, depending on how you lay out these basses, maybe this kick pattern will be better for you. Just make it go fast with it, and just and really get it pumping. That's important. You're either making rhythm or dubstep, and the main way we can tell the difference is by the way you lay out your kick pattern. Awesome. Let's get to the fun drop. This is the color bass drop. For this drop, we're using these bass chords to add melodics and harmony throughout the drop.
Ooh, this shit be hitting different.
Yes.
Nice. I'm going to show you how to make this color bass now, which is really amazing. Let's listen to this first. Soloed. The way it's making the sound is because of this section here, which is serum. This is a serum patch, and it's playing saw waves. We've all heard saw waves. Let's check this out. Okay, so you load up some nice saw waves, but you turn it off, and then you write a bass. So this bass is in D, you know, as usual. And if you go to this track, it's actually a bass patch in serum, something that I made here. Now, we add the, of course, Easy Clean Rack to get it loud and clean. But then we add the vocoder. And shout out to Moonboy. You know, he taught me how to do this color bass trick. I'll put that video in the description as well. He teaches all kinds of different ways. But what you do here is you go to the vocoder, you go to external, and you take the chord. So this is the track. That chord track is this right here. We're taking the sound from the chord, bringing it to this bass, and it completely changes the sound like this. It becomes a bass chord. And if you can tell, they sound different because the chords are progressing. So this is a D chord, you know, and when I make these chords, I'm just paying attention to these notes. I'm just using any of these notes. So it's a D chord with 1, 2, 3, 4 voicings. And then on this one, I just add an extra voicing on top, this E. And on this, I just add some extra voicing even more. This G and A kind of delayed, and it sounds like this. On the chord, I have this auto pan rate switch, and when you turn it on, it's going to sound like this. That's going to affect the sound. Basically, it does this. You could even make it faster. And this is really fun. You can just turn it on and off in the sections you like. Like that. And we'll put it back on, you know, the 4th, like I had it earlier. Cool, and then that's just a nice, easy effect. So let's listen to the drop again. The way I laid out this pattern was I was listening to the snare. So every time the snare hits, we're like kind of freezing. So check it out.
Yes.
And if you see this bass here, chord, bass. Yeah, so we're switching between the chord and then we're going to the bass, going back to the chord. And that's what you really want to do. You want to make sure that the listener doesn't get bored. Keep switching it up to make it spicy and make it right. On the bass, after the vocoder, we added an easy loud to get it even louder, which was just a glue compressor, a saturator, another OTT. And then I added another multiband dynamics to make it a little bit louder. Then we finished off that bass. I went ahead and added the sides, the side trick I taught you earlier. Mid-side bass EQ, and we made it full.
Yes.
If you see this, I added this cute little vocal too by Emilia. This is all being pushed to the master, which is making it loud. The master has the master blaster that I got from Excellent Sound. Lots of EQ, compression, saturation. After EQ, compression, saturation, we add the ozone to make it even louder. And then a limiter to finish it off. I have it boosted a little bit. And these are just for metering. And that's it. You know, those are some tips and tricks on how to make your drop slap, how to get some funk in your life, and altogether how to get some heavy EDM. These are drops. If you guys want me to make any other types of videos, just leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting more videos like this. You guys stay frosty and keep it breathing.